All right. Start in 3, 2, 1. Coming at you live from OCD Studios and on twitch.tv/OCDcast, it's Boards and Swords.
Oh my word!
That's right. It's time for Boards and Swords, episode number 94. How's it going, everybody?
It's good.
It's good.
This is a podcast where we explore the world of tabletop gaming. I'm your host. My name is Chris Renshaw. I'm going to start. We'll go counterclockwise. To my right is Cindy.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm
That was so weird.
I'm Colin.
Yep. And then lastly, but not least,
I'm that weird bald guy, Philip.
yay!
You're not bald.
Sorry.
I am bald.
Nope. You guys say, like, hey, you
I'm
should.
bald.
You know, you should keep this in mind. When you say, hey, you should clip that out.
Uh-huh.
We get stuff like that. So, anyways.
It's gonna get to the point where you're just gonna have like server banks of hard drives of clips.
Yeah. It's starting to get there.
Gosh.
Hey, now if Philip does any cussing, I could just be like, what the... So, it's almost Christmas time, guys.
Yay.
Ladies and gents.
We got 5 more sleeps.
Yeah. And
I love Christmas.
speaking of which, I got stuff for you guys.
Woo! Chris has
What?
stuff for us.
Chris has stuff for us.
Christmas time is here.
Oh no, do I get a fez? I don't want a fez.
Yes, I fit a fez
Hey.
inside another fez.
Fez was a cool dude.
What?
That 70s show.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've never seen it.
So there's one thing that's unique in each one, and that's specific to you. But other than that, you can trade colors and such. So, this is for you, and then this is for you.
Ooh.
Colin, I want you to open yours first.
Ooh.
I want the yellow bag.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can swap
Okay, good.
afterwards.
Okay. All right. Oh, it's right
It's
around.
tied.
It doesn't open up all the way. Okay, going. All right.
That other side. I needed something to write on.
Look in Cindy's bag.
Well, I meant Cindy can open up her bag.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, here. Yeah. Sorry, I got excited.
Okay. Mine is. Oh look, it's a postcard for Boards and Swords. No, I'm just kidding. I owe you 1 copy. Hey!
Yeah. So
He owes me 1 copy of Rhino Hero Super Battle. That's awesome.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's on the way. I don't have it yet.
That's awesome.
But
Super
there's other
excited.
stuff in there too. But that was originally what I was just gonna get you, but I thought that would be kind of lame.
Ooh. Are these the fate dice?
Those are fate dice.
Oh, these are the ones with like the ones and the X's.
I like the
That's what
frosted.
I like the frosted too.
See, now the question is, does Amazon know where it's at?
No, because I didn't order it through Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Kablamo.
And the reason I gave you fate dice is because now that I've played enough a better fate game and I know how to run it, we can run the Secrets of Cats at some point in the
Yes!
next year.
I will do it. That's the
So-
only RPG I want to play.
All right, Philip. Now you can look in yours.
All right. I'm gonna open my bag.
And that's where I said you could change.
Oh, sorry.
That's where Phil. Yeah, I said you could change colors of dice and or dice bags.
Oh. I owe you 1 copy.
1 copy of Happy Salmon Blue version.
Woo! Which one do you
Happy
have?
Salmon.
You have the green one, right?
I have the original version. Yes.
Yeah.
The green version.
So now you can play with up to like what, 8 people?
12?
12.
12.
It doubles.
Yeah.
Oh, is it 6 normally?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember how many it was normally.
Yeah, it's 6. We played with 6 at Dice Tower.
Fate dice.
Thanks, Chris.
You're
This is
welcome.
great. Thank you.
I will cherish this.
Now let's talk about some gaming news.
Yeah.
Wait, what
Yeah.
color are your dice?
Huh?
What color are your dice?
They're like the frosted
Greenish.
Mint greenish.
mint
I'll keep
greenish.
mine.
Whatever.
Actually, this bag's kind of cool.
See, I have a fez.
I like the red with the white. Oh my my week. Philip's
So,
crazy.
have you guys heard of WizKids?
I've heard of them.
I've heard of WizKids.
What about Games Workshop? Have you heard of them?
Yeah.
No, Games Workshop. Didn't they do something with like Pokemon?
I'm
or-
ignoring you. WizKids will be releasing a Warhammer 40k Dice Master set in July of 2018.
Odd.
The starter box, called the Battle for Ultramar Campaign Box, includes enough for 2 players, one playing the Orcs and one playing the Space Marines. This release was kind of expected. Because WizKids acquired the license to like a lot of the Games Workshop properties, but also because WizKids will be milking the Dice Masters games for the next 40,000 years.
Right. Of course.
I get it.
His joke.
Yeah.
I don't think Cindy gets it.
I don't.
Cindy doesn't get it. Warhammer 40K.
40K stands for
Oh.
40,000.
I wasn't paying attention. I mean, I was, but not enough to put 2 and 2 together, apparently. I got distracted by Philip. He's like playing with his dice over there.
Whoa,
Philip, stop playing with your dice. So, Dungeons and Dragons. Do you know about this?
Of course. What? About
So-
Dungeons and
Is that the
Dragons?
same
Yeah.
as D&D?
Yeah. No. Wait. What? I don't
No,
know.
D&D's Dunkin' Donuts.
Ah.
Dunkin' Donuts.
I hate D&D.
So the Dungeons and Dragons, there was going to be a movie. There's going to be a D&D movie.
What?
That's been official. There was a movie. It was going to
Yes.
be put out by Sony, I think, or somebody. But it's been officially moved to Paramount Pictures, who
Okay.
decided we're going to actually put a lid on this thing, and has already scheduled the movie to be released on July 23rd, 2021.
What?
Yep.
That's a long ways away.
Well, yeah, considering they just got the movie.
Oh, okay.
Keep in mind, a lot of these times they have to like grab the spot just to make sure that like nobody else gets it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Didn't they do a movie with the Wayans brothers a while back?
Apparently, yeah, back in like early 2000s. This will have nothing to do with that. We don't really know much about the film, only that the movie will probably get rebooted 8 years or so with a new edition.
Yes. Because
get.
it's going to take them a long time to have like 6 people sitting around a table rolling dice trying to figure this movie out.
All right, first character is a gnome.
All right. Woo!
Speaking of RPG news, in weird RPG moves, this just got announced this week. It's been announced that Wesley Snipes and Sean Astin, Samwise Gamgee, are going to be working.
Please don't tell me anything unnatural.
They're going to be working on a setting for the Paizo Starfinder system.
Okay.
Yeah, like they're editing and like I don't know if they're doing all the writing, but they're the main editors and behind it.
I'm intrigued.
Taking place in a universe called the Gliding Rim. The background behind their setting involves a universe that's originally devoid of magic, suddenly being invaded by powerful mages.
Okay.
So it's this whole like magic versus technology kind of battle.
Gotcha.
Again, I lorded over this news over and over again to try and find a punchline here, but this news rings in such a weird, bizarre way.
Oh my gosh.
You'd have to cut through a bunch of pop culture references with a blade in order to get it.
Oh my gosh.
That's reminiscent of, was it Sky High? The Technopath?
Yeah.
I can manipulate technology with my mind.
All right, and lastly, didn't have a whole lot this time because there was a lot of random stuff. A few episodes back, we talked about Fantasy Flight Interactive. It may have been last episode. Don't remember.
Okay.
Well, the company has announced their first product, which is going to be a digital version of the Lord of the Rings, the card game LCG. It will launch on Steam next year. The game will initially launch in the Steam's kind of early access program, which is a way of them like basically like alpha betaing the game. But it'll only have solitaire play, and then the later full version will come with the full 2-player play. Because is there a better way to translate a co-op game to digital than to remove all those lousy other players first? If so, I don't think I can think of it. That's the news.
Good news.
Exciting.
So,
That was rather unimpressed the way you said exciting.
it's because it was mostly RPG stuff.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled.
Or at least half of it was.
Well, and I don't care about Warhammer either, so.
Exactly. So in other news, there's some random Euro game involving sheep and farmers that's happening, and
What is it?
What's that?
I don't know. I'm making this up on the spot.
Oh. I got excited.
And there's my point.
You said sheep and farmers. Two things I enjoy in a board game.
Were you trying to segue into Harvest?
If you
it
No.
would be a good segue.
So-
to
There's no sheep in it.
did you see my Colin and I are doing this Advent countdown?
Yeah, I
favorite
know.
board game
I
thing?
feel it's kind of weird that we said we were going to do a top 10 on, or
I
count
know,
down to
I'm
our top
sorry.
10, and then it's like, hey, I know where the top 10 is now.
Well, mine will probably change.
Mine, I've decided I may swap my 1 and 2. I'm not adjusting the list other than that, but the more I think about it, I think it makes more sense to swap my 1 and 2.
Well, you know my top 2 aren't going to change, but
Yeah.
Anyway, but
Is one of them
So we're
Carson
doing-
City?
might be.
Okay.
I'm not
Carson
making any
It's Carson
guarantees.
Daly.
It's Carson.
so anyway, in my post
Carson
for
City.
yesterday, I said any game with sheep gets extra love from me. And so I wasn't sure if you saw that, and that's why you said
I don't
what
know why you
said.
like sheep games so much. I would think they would be bad.
I don't know. I just sheep are just so cute. I can't stand it. Especially
What does that
with
remind me of?
sheepy sheep.
I have no idea, but
Was
that's
that
gonna be
Meatwad?
that's gonna be your next pet there, Colin.
A sheep? No, they smell bad.
If we were going to get
But
a
they
farm
are
animal as
natural.
a, as
They
a
are natural.
pet,
No, that's
probably
goats.
a
I'm
pig.
thinking goats.
probably get a
I was
mini
thinking the
pig.
natural lawnmowers.
Make
Oh,
sure
yeah.
you get a real mini pig, not
No,
like,
we're not.
Oh yeah, we
We will not-
micro pig.
and
we
then
will
it ends
not-
up like 600 pounds.
Oh, I
Yeah.
saw a picture of that where somebody got one, and then they're like, "This is what my mom bought," and then this is the pig now.
We will not have a mini pig ever.
Well,
I was
that's
saying if we were going to
comforting.
have a farm animal as a pet.
My neighbors
No.
used to have a pig, and we jokingly, because
and then he lost a lot of weight.
he kept coming into our yard, so we jokingly would just call him like, "All right, Bacon, going home, going home, Bacon."
Oh my gosh.
We haven't seen Bacon in like 6 months.
Oh,
I think he was
no.
too small to be like real bacon. He might be some like baby back bacon.
That is so sad. Stop it. Pigs are adorable too, but I
and
don't want
bacon
one.
is delicious.
No, actually. I don't know.
Sorry, I had to break the tension there. All right, so speaking of harvest
Harvest.
and
So-
farming games,
So yes, we wanted to do a little review of this nice little worker placement game here.
yeah, because this is a board game show, so we should actually talk some board games
Every once in a while.
every once in a while.
So yeah, Harvest is it's worker placement, and it takes place over the course of 5 rounds, and all the moves in the game you can see on this little board here, and there are additional actions like you would see in you'd see them in Caverna, but neither of you have played Caverna, I'm sure,
No,
or Agricola.
I have
and-
played Agricola.
Or if you've seen it, like you see like extra spots to put your workers, like
Yeah,
but these cards,
is this new?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's
Because I actually got confused when you were talking about Harvest, because you talked about Harvest Dice.
Oh yeah, they're two games
Last
that are both
time.
new.
two
yeah,
different companies.
yeah, that's I got a little confused there for
Yeah,
a minute.
this is a TMG game.
Yeah.
And
The other is Gray Fox.
Yes.
so yeah, it takes place over 5 rounds, and each round there's going to be additional actions sitting out underneath this board here, and they're just different combinations of the actions on the board.
Right.
And so it makes it to where it's not too overwhelming to teach. And so it's
Because there's minimal actions you can take.
basically, if you're trying to get someone to learn a worker placement game, this would be what you'd want to teach them first.
My first worker placement.
And I actually tested that out with Cindy's mom.
Oh.
I taught her the game, and she's like, "Okay, I think I would get this if we played again right now. I could do it on my own. I wouldn't need your help." I was
okay.
like, "Okay, cool, yeah." That was what I was hoping for.
Winning.
So the thing that makes this a little interesting, though, there's these initiative cards. At the beginning of the game, each player is going to be dealt an initiative card, and then that decides player order at first. But then there's also
Lower
going to
number
be
goes first.
yeah, there's also going to be 3 laid out in the middle of the table, and lowest number gets to pick their number first. So they get to say, okay, I'm going to pick this 2 because I still want to go
Early.
try to
on.
go first. So you have your player order that's determined by the number, but you have your benefit that's also determined by the number, because the lower numbers get sucky benefits.
Well, it's just not as. It's not as good.
Yeah, so this one you're getting 1 fertilizer, which you can tell looks kind of poop. And that's what Cindy grabbed. She grabbed the bag of poop.
It really does look like poop, guys. I'm not even kidding. It looks like a giant pile of... It looks like the poop emoji.
It's chocolate mousse.
Oh, it kind of does look like chocolate mousse. That's really gross, though, because it's literally poop.
Whereas you see the higher numbers, you're getting like 4 water, which water can be kind of difficult to get in the game.
Yes, it can.
And so you're trying to plant crops in your fields, tend them to grow them so they like multiply, and then you get them out of your field with harvesting actions. And each seed has a silver side and a gold side. Silver side is the seed, and the gold side is the harvested side.
Okay.
And so you can spend your gold stars. You can't spend the silver stars, even though silver stars are worth points at the end.
Yeah.
So you want to get them out of your field so you can like buy like buildings and more fields and stuff. Actually, you don't buy fields, but you buy the buildings. So you get these special abilities from these buildings here. Like there's one that's just like it's a well-plowed field.
Oh, yeah.
And each one of these has like flavor text on it too, which is amazing.
What's the one that was like the outhouse or something?
Oh, yeah.
That one's hysterical.
Gain fertilizer.
No, so they truly do have awesome flavor text on the cards.
Oh, you have the cow pasture, which gives you 2 fertilizer. It's 70% grass, 30% poop.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got fertilizer storage. That's what
there
it is.
We go.
It's an outhouse, but it's called fertilizer storage. It's got 2-ply. We spared no expense. So it's got all these nice little
now I'm thinking
things
of
on
Charmin bears,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
I hate those commercials.
Yeah.
But it's a very quick game, and
it is.
You actually have each player gets their own special ability. You get 2 to choose from at the beginning of the game, and you pick which one you want to do. So like this one right here, Princess Prima Donna, that was the last one that you were, I think. Mm-hmm. So your crops cost 1 less fertilizer to plant, and you can, if you plant something on the special field, you get 1 seed of that at the beginning of every round. And so there's just different abilities like that.
Too.
Yeah. Essentially, this game it's a very fast, very easy to learn worker placement game.
Mm-hmm.
But was it good?
It was very good. It plays in under a half hour.
Oh, that's good.
With 2 players anyway.
Yeah.
How many does it play up to?
4. Yeah. We played this at PAX Unplugged.
We did. We demoed it there.
We played a full game, and it didn't feel like it took that long. It was like under 40 minutes.
Gotcha.
With 4 players.
I feel like it was probably close to 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah. But I wasn't sure if it was just like I had blinders on.
I will say I like the artwork.
So this is the same universe as their other game, Harbor.
Okay.
Which you probably have not played, but that's also that's not really worker placement, is it?
It is. You have 1 worker, and you just keep moving them around.
Right.
Yeah. So this is a little bit more of a complex.
But I want to ask a question, because you guys like a lot of farming type games.
Yes.
Is it just the game mechanics are good? Because like that theme, I like just the thing. Like if that artwork was terrible, I'd be like, I never want to play this game.
Okay.
Like the artwork is kind of the only thing that's drawing me in here, is that the artwork looks really cool.
It's.
But like the theme, I'm just
monster creatures. It's really
not even that, but just the artwork looks really nice.
Cartoon.
Like you see some games, it's like Puerto Rico or even for me,
it's really drab.
Eye of Sky, it's just very drab. Yeah. But in this, like I'm like, oh, that looks kind of neat. But like, is it just like, is there something about the farming theme? I'm not saying there's a right or wrong answer here. I'm just
I get what you're saying.
I'm curious, what is it about the farming games that you guys tend to like them so much?
I
really don't know if I can.
Is it just the mechanics underneath are good and you just don't care as much about the theme?
I think the theme kind of makes sense, and specifically in this one, like with you're trying to multiply your crops and grow. Like it makes sense if you look at it from a mechanical side or a thematic side.
Yeah,
you just like that the mechanics and the theme are integrated.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's used a lot, is because it's very easy to work mechanically.
Yeah. But that theme is just so drab to me. Like I just another farming game.
I don't know. But, I think it's kind of cool because it's like you're getting back to the roots of what humans used to do.
Look at that
was
there.
good. That was good.
But it's like, hey, you want to play a game where we plant some farms, or hey, you want to play a game where Vikings and the Armageddon's coming? I mean,
and see, I'd rather play a game where
I know, no, I'm not saying. I'm saying that's just a me personal thing.
Yeah.
So
I will say though, like I absolutely adore that they've given all the plants.
now, did it
strange-
come with those plastic
No,
containers?
these are-
Okay.
these are ours.
Yeah,
But I love that
'cause those are
all
handy.
the different plants have weird names.
Nice.
So this is broccoli,
Instead
and
of
it's like
broccoli,
instead
yeah.
of broccoli, but they're like shaped like little rocks. So you can kind of
Nice.
see like little diamonds.
Yeah, I
of
was
sort.
looking on the
that's
side of the
cool.
box. The
So
See, this is what I mean, like just the kind of cartoony.
yeah.
so these
Mhm.
are scarrots.
The,
So they
the
look like
crop
little-
side kind of looks like the things from Harry Potter that
Yeah.
they were repotting.
Yeah. The
Oh, okay. Yeah.
These are plumpkins.
Plumpkins.
Or
I'm-
is it
Plump.
plump?
Plumpkins.
Plumpkins.
Plumpkins. Yeah.
This is phantom peppers
Instead of ghost peppers.
Instead of
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
Those-
snap
are those
peas.
the-
and snap peas.
Okay,
I
snap
mean,
Well, that's a real
they
thing.
do exist, but they're
But
like.
the teeth.
Oh,
They got
okay.
teeth on them now. Yeah.
Did you see the
Okay.
broccoli?
I did see the rock.
Okay.
I saw the side of the box.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I love that each of the different
Gotcha.
crops has their own silly, fun name, and I don't know. I just like it.
So
It's super
we're
handy.
saying highly recommend.
I would definitely recommend this.
Yeah, I think it's a good game.
It's something good to have, easy to teach. And my only complaint that I had was it took almost as much time to set up and break down as it did to play.
Right.
But that's because it played so quickly.
Yeah, but that's why I put these bins in there.
Yeah.
'cause
we
it-
just leave the crops in here.
By the way,
when we
one of
play.
the things I wanted to get you is Meeple Realty makes a Carson City insert, but it was a
It's
little
so
outside.
Yeah.
expensive.
Well, it wasn't so. I mean, it was only like 30.
Oh, really?
Which since I was
Yeah.
combining both of you, but the problem was shipping.
Oh, because
It-
that's
it-
the one that's from the UK.
No,
No.
I don't
What
think
am
so.
I thinking?
But it
of?
was
that was the Simply Wooden or whatever it was.
But that-
Oh.
but it was still going to be like $12 shipping. So
Oh man,
yeah.
I appreciate the
that's
thought.
all right.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a game where if you didn't have the game here, I probably would have fallen asleep.
Yeah.
Just in the description. But in seeing it, especially if you're someone that tends to be more like me in the thematic games,
Mhm.
I'm not going to complain. I judge a book by its cover.
It kind of catches you.
It catches my eye. Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, a game has to kind of look nice for me to want to play it.
Yeah.
So,
I even really like the characters, like the.
Yeah, I was looking at one of the like what the Will plant some dill.
Like, they
That's
have
the
a-
standard. If you don't want a special ability, you just take Will Plant some Dill,
nice.
and it just gives you
It's a beaver.
standard
The
things, and it
beaver
gives
is
you
a
extra points at the
structural
end.
engineer. Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gus Arborfall.
I've never played with him before.
I'm playing. If we ever play this, I'm playing as the
Here,
beaver.
I'll show. Beaver.
That's what I'm talking about. That's how you get me to play a farmer
Yeah.
game.
Put some funny names in there, and like the beaver is the structural
Yeah.
engineer.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
Mhm.
is there
it
an
is
ogre or
so-
something in there?
there is an ogre. Yeah.
Does he destroy stuff?
Hold on. Let me take
Oh,
my gloves off.
he's got like an intimidate action,
Okay.
and so he doesn't have to pay for like there's certain spots you have to pay to use, like to build buildings.
That's not him.
Well,
but
that's like a
that was
Cthulhu looking
Okay.
guy.
Yeah.
What is
the swampling? He looks like
Bo
a
Mud.
yeah, Bo Mud.
Let's
Oh,
see.
there's
Here's Plowdor, the troll.
yeah. Oh, that's what I was thinking of.
Plowdor the
Yeah,
troll.
so he doesn't have to pay to use the actions because he intimidates the things.
Gotcha.
But he gets minus points for each field that he has at the end. So you want to have less fields, more buildings, that kind of thing.
You've
Okay.
played with her, haven't you?
Yes.
That's a loaded question. I
basic-
wouldn't answer that.
Basically, you have a third worker that goes out after everyone's done.
So I guess the troll.
Really neat abilities.
I think the troll is just on here, or not the troll. What did you say?
The
The
orc?
goblin.
Orc.
Oh, well, here's the orc then.
Okay.
It's this lady.
Gregorgius.
So I also got to play a little game, kind of like this is a neat
Oops,
little
sorry.
game. Doesn't take that long to play. A game by the name of Twilight Imperium 4.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, not too long. Only like, 6 hours?
Yeah.
Per player.
Well, actually, no. So I actually got a chance to play. It was on my list to try out, and I tried Twilight Imperium 3, and I'm kind of glad I did now. And now that I've played 4, I can make some comparisons there. So I got the chance to play, and actually, it only took 6 hours.
Okay.
I was actually less than 6 hours.
Yeah, I
Especially when you
thought I
take-
remembered the timeline.
when you take it into account that like A, it took a while for everybody to get there, and B, just to put all the stuff out, and the actual playtime was definitely less than 5 hours.
Oh, that's good.
So if you're not familiar, Twilight Imperium 4 is a space opera game where the game starts out as just like a map of space where it's everybody's a different race and they have hexes that form the galaxy, and each of your you start out with just your planet, and you start off with a bunch of infantrymen and a bunch of like ships, and basically over the course of the game you build more stuff. Spread out in the galaxy, interact with the other players, and what's really weird is that in the beginning of in 3, this is one of the big deals with 3 is that there would always be this political phase where like you'd have new laws coming out, and this game in 4 they tweak it so there's a capital city in the middle of the galaxy. It's called Mechatol Rex.
Okay.
Well, in Twilight Imperium 4, you don't have the political phase at all until someone takes Mechatol Rex. So, which is really great because a lot of the first couple of turns where everyone's getting set up, you're not bogged down with this like really big political step. And they even streamlined the political step because in the previous game, not only did you had like each planet that you conquer has 2 values. It has an influence value, and it has how much resources you get. And when you're using money, basically, use your planets as money. So you'll like basically exhaust a planet to get either resources or influence for it. And in Twilight Imperium 3, you would like, not only would you exhaust them to do their influence, but you had like a hand of ambassadors, and you'd have to pick which ambassador. They'd have special abilities, and maybe some ambassadors are spies that would kill other people's ambassadors, and like really convoluted. Whereas in 4, it's just yay or nay, yay or nay, yay or nay, and you flip how many of your planets for influence kind of thing.
Okay.
So, which definitely it takes some of the it basically takes all the fiddliness that's kind of out of it. It forces new point. There's a bunch of point cards. Each round, a new card comes out that gives you a way of earning a victory point. So this can like make sure you have, or like if you have 6 planets that aren't your main planet, then you get a point. And at the end of each round, you can score once, unless you take. There's one roll that lets you take more than one, basically. But yeah, like whereas. And the first time that when we played 3, it took us 2 to 3 hours just to get through one round of the game.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we got through because it's one of those games where you go around and around and around till everybody passes. Yeah. Like you just keep doing actions. Yeah. Like I've got an action I can do. I've got an action I can do. All right, I'm done. I'm passed. And then you keep, until everybody passes. This we managed to get like 2 to 3 rounds in 2 hours.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. Also, it restricts kind of your economy. So one of the other ways that you have for doing actions is you get these tokens that you spread out among. There's like 3 areas on your player mat. So one is you have to put a token on a section in the board if you want to move units in or out of that section or to activate a system per se. And then there's also these command tokens that allow you to activate special abilities that other people have. So like everybody has a role that has a primary thing that you get to do for free, basically. And there's a secondary thing where they get to do something almost as good as you, but they have to pay a command token.
Okay.
So you get a bunch of tokens. You have to allocate them among either, do I want to do stuff on the board? Do I want to do abilities? Or the last thing is your fleet size. So you could have smaller fleets and do more stuff, or you could have larger fleets but not do as much stuff. But the game starts you with like a whole bunch and then kind of trickles them out. So it reduces how big a fleet you can make because you can't just like keep in 3, you could kind of let me just scoop in these tokens. All right. And then I'll make like these huge, massive armadas. Whereas in this one, to have an armada above like 5 took a lot of work. Especially because like, you're only getting 2 of those tokens a turn, and if you're spending more than what you're getting in, then you're going to have less and less and less. There's one action that lets you get more, but that's pretty much all you get to do that round.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, like, you could definitely tell there was someone's like, I'm going to take this one, I need tokens. So, but yeah, played a lot simpler. I really liked it. I will say we only play with 4 people, and I don't know if it's the game or if it was we were only playing with 4. There wasn't as much like political negotiating outside of the table, where I talked about in 3, where like someone would get up and they'd be like, all right, what are we going to do about this guy over here?
Oh, yeah.
But there was more in the game about it, because there would be a lot of bidding, like, I want you to vote my specific way. And I'll be like, so in the previous game, you had these trade goods that you would get and you could give to people and use them as resources in addition to your planets. Well, in 4, you don't acquire trade goods. Like, you don't generate trade goods. You generate commodities, which are useless to you. You have to trade them. When they get traded, they become trade goods to somebody else. So you want to be, like, negotiating with people, which is really cool. So, like, if we're coming on this thing, like, look, I really, really don't want Philip to do this. So I'm going to give you this card that says the next time I get commodities, you'll automatically get them. You just have to play this card, and then... as
we'll
long
go
as
against Philip.
Yep, exactly. Or I'll like, Philip, here, I'll play this card, which means if I ever come into your system, you can play this card to basically, it nullifies a turn for me.
Oh, okay.
So like I can't, it's like a ceasefire thing. Or there's another one that says like, if I'm ever getting too close to Colin, then you can play this and it nullifies any of my special abilities. Kind of thing. It gives you leverage over me, basically. So there's more ways of doing political stuff kind of in the game, which is good, but I did kind of miss that like tactics around the table kind of thing. But not enough to where I want to play a 12-hour game. And like I said, it could have been more like 6 players, because the other thing with 4 is it's quickly getting around to your turn again.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've got more players, which I think it plays up to 6, you might get halfway and like, oh, I'm gonna go up and get a snack. I'm like, I'm gonna also go get a snack. I think you would like this game.
Sounds pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, I was sad I missed out on it.
Yeah, I was really hoping you were going to be there because I really wanted to get your take on it. So I don't know. I may have to acquire it. I don't know. The other problem is they came out with a deluxe rulebook version of it, because you had like your standard Fantasy Flight Learn to Play and rules reference, but then they came out with a hardback book that like had all of it. I'm like, I'd have to have that.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, man. And not only that, but the guy so we played with one guy's, but then another guy had just painted his ships and brought those. And I was like, these are amazing. So I may it made me want to paint my scythe minis.
Right.
Yeah.
Just because like he was able to show the player color as like an accent instead of it being like all like this is a solid yellow ship kind of thing.
I remember seeing the pictures. They look nice.
Yeah. So yeah, you would definitely enjoy this, especially as much as you like Star Trek Ascendancy. Like, this kind of kills Star Trek Ascendancy for me. Well, see, like the only Star Trek Ascendancy has the Star Trek thing going for it, but
you haven't played the Borg yet.
The way it works though, like some of the mechanics are just done better in this game. Like it's more refined, Like, if I could have the same... Like, the ideal game would be Twilight Imperium with Star Trek races.
Yeah.
That would be, like, the best mashup ever. But, like, to me, it's, it's simple. Like, I was asking someone was like, I have Twilight Imperium 4, should I get Star Trek Ascendancy? And I'm like, I don't think so.
How many players are you planning to play with? That might be the question I'd ask.
That's true.
Yeah, because Imperium is 6 out of the box?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So Ascendancy, you got to buy players 4 and 5.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, if you're planning to play with less people, that could be...
Okay, that's true. I would not. That's true. That is a point. Star Trek Ascendancy, you could play with a minimum of 3, and I think you'd still get the same kind of experience. Twilight Imperium 4, I think, can technically play with 3. I would not want to play this with 3. Because especially...
You wouldn't have that interactivity.
You wouldn't have the interactivity, and there's also, it's easy for 2 people to gang up on the third guy.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas if you've got 4, you've got somebody else there, but like, help me out. You really don't want these guys rolling over,
Yeah.
So
unless all 3 of them team up against you.
There's that. Trust me, that happened. There was one of the players that like he spread himself out too thin, and then like one guy started mowing him over, and he was right next to me, so I was like, all right, I'm going to start mowing him over. And then we started looking up how your player gets eliminated from the game, because it might have been helpful. So, yeah, I definitely enjoyed Twilight Imperium 4.
That's good.
Don't know if I will buy it. because again, chances of playing it, and money. It's like $150 game.
Oh,
James.
Yeah, so it's like $150 for a game. Probably not going to play too much.
But it's a Fantasy Flight game with an insert.
With
comes with its own insert.
An insert
Ish, kinda.
Ish. You're probably going to end up throwing it out sooner or later.
Oh yeah.
Like it's a cheap plastic one that works.
It's better than the usual
The
Fantasy
trench.
Flight
Is
one.
it? Is it like what the X-wing core sets came in?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
where it just had like a scoop.
It's like four different areas.
Yeah, scoop out for each individual ship.
Yeah. And then another thing I want to bring up before we get into our main segment, something I didn't talk about last time that I actually did get to play is you'll notice Mansions of Madness is over on that shelf
Ooh.
instead of in the unplayed shelf. Yes, I
Who'd
finally
you play that with?
myself.
Oh.
So I finally got Mansions of Madness to the table. This game, I will say this game mashes all my buttons. There's dice, there's miniatures, there's an app, there's there's puzzles, there's just a lot of stuff. The only thing I don't like is its setup is a little. I need to find some sort of insert for it because like the insert for this was just a trench, and so like a lot of the guys were falling off their bases, like because the monsters kind of clip onto these bases.
Yeah.
And so and just everything's kind of everywhere. I need a way to organize this so that I could get it out better.
I think there's a couple of them out there.
I think so. I just haven't looked into it. But in this game, you're playing as a bunch of investigators. So think like, and it's the same investigators from like Arkham Horror, the card game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the same people.
You got skids.
Yeah. I don't know about skits. I only played like a couple. I just looked through the deck real quickly and just picked 2 people at random that I thought like, this one's kind of punchy and this one's kind of searchy. So, okay. And then you load up the app, which that was the other question I had is like, the app going to pretty much just play this game for me? Like, am I just basically playing the app and then just moving pieces around?
Okay.
Not really.
All right.
Because there's a lot of dice rolling and there's the app doesn't know where people are. Like, it just knows what people are on the board and what monsters are on the board.
Okay.
Like, it'll generate monsters and it'll say, this monster moves to the next closest investigator. Is it this person? Or no, it doesn't even ask that, but it'll say like an event may happen and it'll be like, is this person in a hallway or a kitchen? You'd be like, no. Okay, there's no event this turn.
So it's kind of like Crossroads almost.
Yes.
In Dead of Winter.
Yes, exactly. It is
That's
very
cool.
much like
and
Crossroads.
you don't forget because the app is prompting
Exactly.
you.
Yep. Because you take your actions and you go, all right, we're done. And then it's like, Mythos phase. Yeah. So yes, there's that. And then I didn't get to experiment as much with the puzzles. There was one puzzle I had to do, which was basically like you arrange tiles on a board. And it was really easy. But I only investigated like one half of the overall board on this scenario that I did, the first scenario.
Okay.
I didn't even get through. There were some sections I didn't even get to because I was like heavily searching. I was searching like every little thing that popped up.
Okay.
So I missed like completely other sections because there'd be like, oh, if you've got multiples of these, I'm like, I only have one. Like, all right, well, it only lowers it this much because you could have been able to do it more, but you didn't do that. So, and not only that, but the way the Crossroad things works is if you do certain quests, it may activate events in the future. So, like, there was one where, like, I investigated this vase, and it's like, it glows with a strange power. Do you want to accept this power? And I'm like, okay, sure. And it's like, okay, cool, you get the spell card, but it's going to come at a price. And I was like, okay. I thought, like, immediately, but nothing else happened. I'm like, oh, sweet, I dodged that bullet. And then like 3-4 turns later, like the price has come, and then it's like,
Oh my gosh.
holy crap!
Time to pay the piper.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So like the choices that you make are affecting it, and I think it's like I heard some people talk about it's not really replayable, but I think it kind of is, in the sense that I think it randomizes the map every time.
Okay.
So it might get boring, but you could play it like with different it's not like I can't play that session again because I know how it ends.
And there's so much expansion content coming out for it.
True, but
is
it's
the
it's $100 game, and
Yeah.
Is the map completely contained in the app?
Yes.
Okay.
because the map is tiles.
Uh-huh.
So, and the tiles are all named too. So it'll be like, pull this tab or pull this tile out and put it here. Or the tile will suddenly show up. Like when you open a door, it's like, this tile appears.
Okay,
So
so
then you reach through.
there is a physical map that you have. And
Yeah,
then
think of the placement is kind of like Betrayal at House on the Hill, where you're just kind of like grabbing a tile and
It's
mapping
like,
out the board.
You're on the third floor. Pull a third floor tile.
Exactly.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah. It's not random like that, where it's, I don't know what this next tile's going to be. It's no, you pull this specific tile.
Okay, gotcha.
That's pretty cool.
You're going to like this game.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know. Cindy may not like it's got the puzzling stuff may appease Sydney.
That's what's been interesting me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've never hated the Cthulhu thing.
Yeah.
It's just never grabbed me too much. Like when I played Eldritch Horror, like I was like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I was just playing it because people said it was a great game. I was like, I guess I should try it.
Yeah, this might put the final nail in the coffin of Eldritch Horror for me. Like I liked the game, especially when I played it last at it can be a bear to play.
What did we play over at Chris and Sandy's?
Elder Sign.
We played Elder Sign. Okay, gotcha.
Oh yeah, the dice game.
Yep. So I liked the storytelling in Eldritch Horror, which this has, but it's also got minis, which Eldritch Horror does not. It also set up and plays quicker than Eldritch Horror, which is like a big plus because Eldritch Horror is one of those games that takes like an hour longer than it should. It's just one of those games where it's definitely better than Arkham, which took forever. And then
Sorry, which one came first, Eldritch or Arkham?
Arkham came first.
That's
the full Arkham game came first.
Right.
Then
I know
Eldritch
the
Horror.
LCD is new, but
I still like
LCG,
playing. Like it doesn't kill the LCG for me because that's still kind of cool.
Own thing.
Yeah, because of the deck building kind of and the it's kind of fun as like a co-op Magic kind of game sort of thing. Like it feels a different void sort of. But I think this definitely kind of puts Eldritch Horror out to farm.
May it rest in pieces.
Yeah. Lots and lots of pieces.
Lots and lots of pieces.
I know, you have 3 expansions.
I mean, is it a Fantasy Flight
or
game?
2 expansions?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is? Yeah, it's a Fantasy Flight game.
I own more than 3 because I have 2 big box expansions.
Oh, and there's a bunch of small
I have
things.
2 small box expansions that are inside the big boxes.
Got it.
I mean, I'll still keep it because I have a lot invested in it, but it may start gathering some dust. So, all right, Philip, what have you played? All right, anyways, and
I haven't played nothing. I played Minecraft Story Mode and it sucked.
I've been playing a lot of Minecraft too. That's the sad part is you guys have probably played a lot more than I have recently. It's just between getting
Isn't
sick.
That normal though?
True. But like even more than usual. Like I've played Philip levels of games recently.
Oh wow.
Spyfall?
Yeah. Although I did win an L5R tournament.
Awesome.
Yeah, I owned everybody.
There you go.
Like you remember how I talked about how long L5R took like the first time we played it?
Yeah.
And everybody was worried about how long it was going to take game-wise because it took me like 2 hours to play the first game.
Yeah.
I whipped the floor off of one dude and finished in like 15-20 minutes.
Oh my
Nice.
gosh.
Like 2 of my games added together were about the same as the first game I played where we went to time, which was like a little over an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just one of those that once you've got your deck cohesion down and nailed
It
down
makes it
and
easier
everyone's
to-
down with the rules, you're just bam, 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 bam. So
Well, congratulations.
That's awesome. Good for you.
He trusted in the heart of the cards.
I did. I did. It's funny because the deck I made is called the Drop Bears.
Okay.
It's because apparently in Australia there's this thing called a drop bear, which will just kind of like fall out of a tree and like land on its prey kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And
cool.
like in this deck, it's one of those you keep your attackers in your hand, and then like right before you go to attack, you go bam and just drop them down so they can't really prepare for them.
Ah, yes, yes.
So,
Interesting.
but
Yeah.
all right, so we'll just
Oh my gosh.
we'll move on to our feature segment, which is I wanted to talk about 2017 as a whole. Just because it's been a year, it's been a big year. I think you guys have been on previously, but it was mostly the first time that we kind of switched things up and brought like the rest of
Yeah.
you.
I
Mhm.
kind
hadn't
of in
joined
there.
until
That's where
my first episode, I think, was either January or February of this year.
Right. I couldn't remember because I know it was us playing. I think Arkham was the first one.
I don't remember.
Arkham Horror, the card game, I think was like the first.
I don't know. I did
Yeah, I think you're
Guildhall pretty
That's
early
true.
on.
Oh, we're doing
That was-
2017 in gaming.
Yes.
I think you meant 2017 in general because it's been a
No.
little bit of a Charlie Fox drop.
Yeah,
2017
no.
in general.
We're talking about
All
the
right.
only thing that's kept me from like going insane, which is gaming.
Okay, all right. I'm focused now. I'm here. I'm with you guys.
Which I will say, just right off the bat, and this kind of goes not only to you three out here, but just everybody out on the internet, is that this has been a big help for me because me and my family have gone through like a lot of different stuff this year. Ashley's stuff has gotten a lot worse over the past year. Then we found out like her father's really sick. And just like this has been kind of like my escape from a lot of stress.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so thanks to everybody for that. But just to get off of that.
That's a good thing about gaming. It gives you that escape, and a lot of people,
And
like
it's a
myself
healthy-
included, look for that in it. Like,
Yeah, it's a healthier escape than some of the other things people could do.
Yeah.
It might not be a cheap escape,
No.
but it's certainly healthier than other things that are
Not
also
when you go to
not
as many
cheap.
conventions as I have this year.
That needs to be one of those. They have the memes. It's like, oh, get your kids into fixing their cars. They won't have money for drugs.
No, I saw one.
Get your
It's like-
kids into doing board games. They won't have money for drugs.
It
That-
exists.
it exists.
Philip.
Okay.
There's the one that's like get your kids into magic. They won't have money for drugs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
won't have money for drugs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, then they start trading their rares for drugs.
I'm actually going to turn it over to Cindy first about
Me?
the year in whole because, like I said, this was the first time you were on a regular podcast. I know you had
Yeah.
done some stuff in the past, but just the experience of being on the show, kind of what was that been like this year? Because whereas I'd had these guys on for an episode or two,
Yeah.
but this was kind of this
Yeah.
year was your first kind of big time on the show.
My experience on the podcast. I don't know.
This
I
is-
mean, it's been both good and annoying.
The scheduling.
Well, that and also sometimes I feel like you're a little mean to me.
That's true. I will admit it.
But generally, I don't know. I enjoy like chatting and talking about board games and getting to be a part of this community. And I like that through this, like we have some clout now, and that's kind of fun. And I don't know. It's a neat little.
How is
It's
it?
a neat community. It's a neat experience.
How is being on the show affected the games that you play? Like I know we've like introduced you some, but like I'm
Yeah.
talking about when you are looking at games, how has being on the show affected that kind of
your thought process.
or has it?
I don't know because I'm pretty open to playing most anything.
Okay.
And so, I mean, I'm not necessarily going to like everything, but I'm not like you. I don't judge games by their cover most of the time. Most of the time. There are some things that I'll turn my nose up at, like, like the heavy Cthulhu type
Mhm.
stuff. And a lot of abstract games.
Blood Rage, apparently.
Right?
Gosh,
I liked Blood Rage, though. I didn't like the theme, but I really liked the way it played.
Okay.
Anyway.
So if it was like
So-
My Little Pony Rage.
No.
My Little Pony Scuffle.
Colin and-
Yes, My Little Pony Scuffle. All right.
Colin and I have an idea for re-scheming that game.
Dude,
or
Mike would
skinning
love
that
that.
game, not scheming. Skinning.
Skinny.
Theming. Re-theming.
Re-theming.
There we go. The game. And I don't know. But anyway, so I don't know. I mean, I think I kind of do look at games a little bit more unbiased at first, maybe. I don't know.
I was just
I really don't
just
know.
curious.
Do you if you're out there looking at games, have you ever had the thought you're looking at something on the shelf, you'll be like, this would be cool to play and then talk about?
No.
No? Okay.
It's just one of those that'd be cool to play, and then she comes here to talk
Then she
about
comes
it.
here to
Yeah.
talk about it.
Kind of.
I will say one thing that helped us out tremendously is when when we came up, when we decided basically to not do a featured review game that we all had to play each
Oh, yeah.
time. Because
That helped us a
was
little,
being arranging that and trying to get all four of us to make sure we had played it, and then we were like, well, we need to make sure we've played it each, more than once, and
So we can
that
give a
scheduling
fair
became
review.
a nightmare.
It did.
Mhm.
It really
Oh, yeah.
did.
And I like it more now that, especially having you two come on has helped me out because it's taken a lot of the stress off of me of like, I need to review all these, all this new stuff, where it's like, I can push stuff off.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they can talk
Because we do
about
have
this.
more time. We have more opportunities to play games than you do because we have each other, whereas your family doesn't often play with you.
Correct. Yeah, my family's not as into board gaming.
Right.
And it gives Chris a whole lot less work because I'm just no help at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
so
just,
like,
what's up with that?
I'm just a semi-pretty face.
Like for instance,
God.
like I mean, and it also means that I've forged relationships with people that I normally wouldn't go out and see. So like, for instance, at PAX Unplugged, I went and talked to Clay from Capstone Games about getting Lignum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a game that I would go out and seek a review copy for
But
on
you
my
did
own.
for us.
But I
which is
did
nice.
because I knew I was like, oh, they will definitely enjoy. They will definitely want to try this out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played it
Which we
once
played
so
once,
far.
yeah.
Okay.
I want to try to get another couple plays in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, when do you think you'll be able to talk about it? I was like, well, if it was me, it would be forever. But you're in luck. I'm going to put this on my co-hosts who play a lot more than I do. And maybe by like the end of the year, beginning of next year, we'll have it out for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was
And
like,
that's
oh,
how
really?
that's how we got Harvest was that when we were at PAX Unplugged, I got up the gumption to go up to, is it Jason at TMG? Is that his name? I can't remember.
You talked to
I
him
feel
more
like
than I
it was
did.
Jason. But yeah, I went up to him and was like, so how do we go about getting a review? Yeah.
Real professional here.
Yeah, because that's actually TMG's one of the ones I hadn't. Actually, I don't know if I own a TMG game.
You used to. Aquasphere.
I actually
You
still do.
have it.
It's
Oh,
over there.
okay.
Okay, so I do own a TMG game.
Yeah, we have quite a few actually. One of my favorites is one of theirs, and that's Gold West. That's a
No
really
way.
good game.
You guys, I've heard you bring it
Western
up several
game?
times.
Oh,
And
okay.
yes, it's a Western game. I'm not surprised.
FYI, that's my retheming for Blood Rage.
Ah.
Yeah, we're never playing with you ever.
Oh man, Colin, what about you? How has this year affected you as far as being on the podcast?
It's I think it's had a really positive effect on me actually. With when I'm playing, I'm actually thinking a little bit more critically.
Mm-hmm.
Like and actually when I'm watching other people's reviews even, I'm thinking more critically as to, do I really need this?
Yes.
And yeah, so I'm looking at it from all possible variables and saying like, okay, I have something that does this already. Do I need something that does this plus a little bit extra, or is that different enough? I'm thinking a little bit more critically on the games that I want to get myself to buy.
And see, he's the one that does all of our buying game research, so
Yeah, but you guys like the same stuff
we do,
anyways.
which is why this is helpful. But
Yeah.
I have no opinion on that because I rarely.
Well,
I
he
mean,
does. We've
there
said
are
it before.
some
He does the
games-
research on the
Right.
new games, and then
Yeah.
you just kind of play them.
Right. I mean, there are some games that I'll see things on since I'm active on Instagram, and I'll see they'll be like, "That looks cool," and I'll be like, "Hey, Colin, check this out. See if I'll like it."
I will
I'm
say,
not even kidding. It's what I do.
I still want to play that Beasts of Balance game that you brought
Oh
up.
yeah,
And-
I still want to try that.
Yeah.
I really do.
But yeah, we've been more active on Kickstarter now too.
Oh yeah, yeah. We back.
I've actually been
games this
less
year.
active on Kickstarter.
That's
mainly
good
because
though.
I've been forcing myself to. Because
Well, because you spent a nice little chunk of money this year on things, I'm sure.
True, but also, yeah.
You spent a nice chunk of money on Kickstarter.
Well, that's what I.
Earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Earlier in the year.
Yeah.
And that's still hasn't even
well,
come in
and,
yet.
some of it was forced because like Ashley lost her job, so
Oh, sure.
you know,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
and then she's actually got she's fine now, but so there was a period of time I was like, nope, can't. It's like I can't even look.
Yeah, don't
The
even
temptation
look.
will be too strong.
Don't even look. My splurging and treating myself is going to be buying name
That's-
brand instead of store brand. All
That's
right.
why. That's why when the Numenera 2 thing came out, and they were coming out with like all these stretch goals, and I was just like, I can't. I want, but I can't. No. And conveniently, you noticed around then was when I did the auction to sell games.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I
Oh,
need
yeah.
money to afford some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Get these games I don't care about out of here.
Hmm.
But actually, that's well, hold on,
Go ahead.
Philip. No.
Okay.
We're gonna get that's
Oh,
more
we're
into
getting into
we'll get to that. I don't want to
Okay.
skip over, but talking about just being on the show because
Yeah.
I mean,
because we did.
You've been my right hand man on a lot of
We've-
stuff for years. So
Yeah, God, we've been. There's a lot of memories in this basement. Podcasting and saving the podcast studio.
All right, let's not bring up the flood again.
I mean,
we've brought that up several times.
It's a momentous occasion. So being on this one in particular and talking about board games, not just goofing off. And, I mean, goofing off. Duh.
Focused goofing off.
Focused goofing. That's right. What have I done this year? I backed my first Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah. Back to the Ruby Combat Ready board game.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Has that come in yet?
No, it'll be July.
That was closed. That was only like a month or two ago.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was
so
soon.
July. Worked for a company at Gen Con.
Yeah.
That was cool, which is where I got this box right here.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of cool. Fancy. Yeah.
He's talking about the Doctor Who Time of the Dogs, which I am...
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to this game for 2 years.
You just want to like see inside the box,
I'm telling you, I've been looking forward to this game for 2 years. They announced it back in early 2015.
Can I get like a light or something?
Yeah. I've actually got, talking about fulfilled Kickstarters, I've actually got one in that box over there that I need to open up. It's not a board game.
I didn't think it was.
It looks like a book.
It looks like an
It's a
RPG book.
It's an RPG book.
I don't want to say like my attitude toward board gaming has changed or I've done anything different. I mean, I've done the same thing we've done.
You've been exposed to more of it.
Been exposed to more of it, yeah, because like we're here and I've played games that I just wouldn't even play at all ever.
We're trying to get you up to that 50 mark.
Yeah.
So you can have a top 50.
So I can have a top 50. Yeah. I mean, what was the one with the clouds and the
Hop.
Yeah, was that the one?
Yeah.
Because that was a worker placement, wasn't it?
What? No, Hop was the one where we were flinging things.
Oh,
no.
no.
Throwing the rainbow.
Oh, yeah. I learned I can't stand dexterity games. Can't stand
Like, you don't like playing them?
I do not like playing them.
That's weird.
I absolutely love them.
Yeah, it seems to be like the one circle of where our interests overlap between Colin and Cindy and I is the dexterity games.
I think I like them more than Colin, though.
If Colin and Cindy pop, hey, Chris, we got a Western game. No, it's a dexterity. I mean, all right, okay, fine, I'll play it.
Well, that's that. Flick them up.
Yeah, that's how he's like. It was a worker placement.
Carson City was worker placement.
Well, yeah, but that's Western. This one was like there were distinct levels of the map. There was like stuff that happened in the clouds. Euphoria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was the sky people. The blimps.
Yeah, it was a sky people.
And then there was they had a farmer clan.
Oh, with the dice.
Yeah, the dice and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are some worker placement games that are like Carson City. I enjoyed that. The potion one.
Yeah,
Potion Explosion.
That was fun.
That's not a worker placement, but Alchemist.
Alchemist.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. Like that was fun.
That's gone.
Like Euphoria, I was like, this is whatever. That's kind of.
That was one of the first ones I reviewed.
There's that one Corey keeps wanting with the mitochondria and the cells and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That looks
mitosis. I think
mitosis is the name.
Or cytosis, I think.
I think cytosis is the main game, and mitosis is an expansion, or the other way around.
Oh, okay.
Corey, if you're listening, let us know.
Give me a few minutes after we stop.
I know, and we can figure it out.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's really all I've like. This year's been, I want to say it's been like the other years, but it's been a nice upward trend.
Yeah.
Because it has me.
So what I'm gonna get to actual games here, but something I wanted to bring up is how and this kind of goes along what you were talking about, but kind of outlook on gaming, not so much the tastes on gaming, but because I want to say my tastes, my gaming preferences, but it's not so much that. Like this year, like my resolution was to do a 10x10. Not happening.
Yeah, we didn't get any.
I've got 63 plays in. I still need like 35. I could theoretically do it, but just this year has been, even though I don't get as much gaming in, even with that in mind, this year has been lower than most.
There are 24 usable hours in every
There
day.
are, sure, yes.
Sorry.
But I found that it did help in that getting me to kind of not force myself, but I'm the kind of person that's all right, next. Like I'm all right, what are we playing next? Yeah. I'm not going to keep playing the same game over and over again, but this kind of forced me to kind of do that this year.
Yeah.
And then this year was also a big culling year for me. I did eliminate like a lot of games out of the collection this year.
That was something that we did too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
not as many as you did, but still, like last year, I wouldn't have imagined getting rid of as many games as we did.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was
Although, to be fair, we got a lot of games this
We
year.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
That's also
lot of games this year.
I got rid of games I didn't even expect to. Like for instance, Time Stories gone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
one but it was like I was buying all the expansions for it and they were just sitting on the shelf.
And
Yeah.
like I love the game, but it's so hard to get a chance to play it because you can't play it with just anybody.
Nope,
Yeah.
you got
It's got to be a specific group of people who've played all the other things before. Like we were going to review it for a feature review, but we never could get
Yeah.
all of us together with enough time
Yeah.
to sit down and play it. So it was like, you know what? I've got all the expansions. I can sell it to somebody for $100 and I can take that money and convert it into Mansions of Madness, a game I can play anytime and that I've been wanting to play forever.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately, like, you know, within a week or two, like within 2 weeks of getting it, I played it.
Right.
Nice.
So, but it's also not that far away. It's over far from Mike. So technically,
I was thinking it was still local.
it is still local. So it's like, you know, if he ever needs me to show him how to play the game.
Exactly.
So,
If he ever needs a character in the game, you know.
But yeah, talking about conventions,
that's right. This was a big year for you guys
Yeah.
in going to conventions.
our first two conventions, Dice Tower Con in July and then PAX Unplugged.
Mm-hmm.
In November.
And so that was Dice Tower Con was where our major influx of games came from.
Yeah, but that was also
What did-
because you could get them like really cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
we
they
did.
had the
Ding and Dent.
they had the Ding and Dent, the virtual
flea
flea market,
market.
and
Right.
the actual flea
Yeah.
market, and so there was cheap games everywhere.
Right.
Yes, that was wonderful.
And so
Did you guys drive separate cars? That way you could have like one car for luggage, one car for games.
No, they
No,
rented
I-
a U-Haul.
No, that's what the other one was.
yeah, we had the pull
We had
behind.
plenty of room. We had the back seat.
Yeah, we had one suitcase, and then the
you
rest
didn't?
of the Equinox was empty space. I put the seat down.
You brought a suitcase? No, you're supposed to just like wear all your clothes and
Yeah,
then put them in
exactly.
the dresser at the hotel.
No.
Mm.
No. No.
I love how like you can't even joke. Cindy's just like, no, we're not
No.
going there. Not even as a joke.
Middle of July, maybe if it was like January.
Maybe if it was PAX Unplugged.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
were driving-
Yeah.
But yeah, and then PAX Unplugged, we still got.
Kind of
We got-
opposite ends
Several
of the
games, yeah.
spectrum there.
Yeah, we got several games there too. Yeah.
But yeah, two different types of conventions. Like PAX Unplugged, it still had a lot of gaming space and focus on gaming, but they were more focused on the retailing side, or whatever you call
Vendor
that side.
side.
There
Vendor?
was more vendors.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also just more people.
Mhm.
Yes, it was bigger.
But yeah, and it took place after all the big conventions of the year, so it had all the new hot games there too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, where's that Dice Tower?
Dice Tower
But-
Con was after Origins, but not too much stuff comes out of Origins.
But now,
Yeah.
do you feel like you understand a little bit more about when people are talking about Origins and Gen Con? You kind of have an idea now of
yeah,
of
and
what
Oh,
to
I
expect.
had seen the pictures of like the people waiting to get in.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like if the other ones did their queue line
Mhm.
like PAX Unplugged did, I would be all for trying out Gen Con.
Well,
Sure, but the thing you got to think about with Gen Con is you don't. It's the hidden secret of hidden secret. You don't have to. You don't have to be there right when the doors open. Literally, wait 10 minutes and you can just walk right in.
Oh, for like the vendor hall?
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean the people
it's a floodgate where everyone
yeah.
just like explodes in there, and then it's
every single year there's always some guy standing up on the stairs right above the main entranceway
Mm.
just to grab a video
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
just
that's
the-
what I've
the
seen.
mass of people going in. 10 minutes and 1 second later, whatever. It's just a
that's
nice,
the one downside
nice
between
little trickle
PAX
they
and
can run
Gen
in.
Con is because they meter it out at PAX. It means if you get there like 10, 20 minutes, I got to go hop in. This happened to me. I was meeting up with someone to trade a game, and he's like, I'm stuck in this stupid queue.
Mm.
And so waiting for his turn to get in, whereas
Yeah.
Gen Con, but then it's, all right, whatever. I'll just walk over and I'm walking in.
But at the same time, with that showing up 10 minutes later thing, like the hot game that's come out there, could be gone.
True.
Yeah.
But then that's a different atmosphere if that's because everybody's like, gimme.
Yeah,
I gotta have this now. Whereas most of them they're gonna come out later.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the gimme. I mean, and then
it's the allure. Gen Con even makes you think. You're like, oh my god, I gotta have this because I'm not gonna be able to get this later. Like we're about to sell out. Oh my god, there's no such thing as the internet. I'm not gonna be able to get this later.
That's right. I'm not. And I want to say probably during Gen Con is when that little FedEx kiosk right in the convention center makes all their money.
Oh yeah.
I mean, people run in and they're like, I'm gonna buy these 10 games. I need to ship them home because I only brought one suitcase.
And because I'm on a plane, and it'll cost me like 100 times more to fly them back.
Or I'm going to buy 20 copies of this game. 10 seconds later, I immediately sold them on eBay for double their price. I got to ship these out right now because they got 2-day shipping.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I've seen.
All right, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say the thing about the FedEx thing. They had that at Dice Tower Con too, and they were like pushing it, like the little convenience shipping center or whatever for if you've bought too much, ship it home. And it's like
I'm sure there was
okay.
probably one at PAX Unplugged.
Oh, there was. I saw it there too.
Okay. Yeah, it seems
I just
to be
didn't
a
hear them.
mainstay.
I didn't hear them advertise it.
Gotcha.
That was another thing I'm unsure of at Gen Con is like we actually got to talk with someone that was running an event at Gen Con. Like we were walking to the convention center from the subway, and he said that Gen Con was basically you have to charge for your stuff, like if you're running an event or something like that. But I mean, he said he basically found a workaround. I was like, no, it's okay. You don't have to pay. Just here's a ticket.
Yeah.
But
well, that's
it seems like everything at Gen Con, on top of your admission price, you're paying for.
True. But at the same time, that the reason they do that is because you've got a guaranteed spot.
Mm-hmm.
You've paid that money. You're not. Whereas in PAX, you got to wait in a line, and in order for you to get into it, you got to wait in the line forever.
Yeah.
Or be there like right then. Whereas PAX, I don't have to do, or Gen Con. Yeah, I paid $2 for this event, but not all events. Like a lot of the seminars and stuff are free.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Like demos is usually where it comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're running demos for stuff, usually that costs money. But like seminars,
the games,
and that's what it was. They were play testing
that's
a
what
game.
it was. Yeah.
the games that I ran for GF9, those were paid ticketed events. But then
and that's just, I guess, probably to get the cost that the convention's having to do to put out to get the bigger rooms, to get the rooms in all the different hotels. You know, it's their way of getting that money back.
So are the demos that you're running though? They're not full game demos, right?
No. Well,
you said that the
so I was running
Ascendancy wasn't.
It actually was. I mean,
Because this isn't like at the booth. This is, they've got a side room and it's got tables where everything's set up, and it's like a 2-hour block.
Oh, okay.
So you've got
this is making more sense now.
Yeah,
you've got a full block.
I was running 4-hour blocks of
there you go.
There you go. And it was 4 players, and it's roughly an hour per player for Ascendancy.
So it's you play until you're done or until time runs out.
Okay. Yeah. I remembered you saying like you started out with the Borg out there rather than them coming in naturally.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure what the length was.
It was because the Borg technically add like a 5th player to the game.
Mm-hmm.
So because they wanted people to experience the Borg instead of having the randomness in the tiles, it was like the Borg are out, and then we're gonna have players 1, 2, 3, and 4 are gonna go. And then the Borg are going to go. So, boom. Then you get to experience it right there.
Okay. All right.
To quickly
Pieces
get the mechanics in your face.
This is another thing I'm learning already. It's put this on my 2017 learn thing.
Just chop that out and insert it back in.
Well, like you guys, for instance, you went to the top 10 seminar thing at PAX Unplugged.
Mm-hmm.
There wouldn't have been a charge for that. However, if you wanted to buy a general ticket because you didn't get
well, I know the Dice Tower talks about at Gen Con and stuff like that, they don't charge for it, but you have to get their ticket still at the booth.
Yes. Well, it depends on what convention.
Yeah.
So,
true.
like Gen Con, it's in their system. You still have to get a ticket.
It might be Essen that I was thinking of.
Essen,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
But yeah. I went to.
You went to.
I went to a lot of conventions this year too for the first time. The sad part is
you went to Origins for the first time.
I went to Origins for the first time. I went to
the
that was a first.
That
what was
my
the
first...
last one you went to? The one right before PAX that I can't pronounce.
A Catacon.
Yes, a Catacon. Yes.
Academy.
That one.
Acadecon. And then I went to also the FFG World Championship.
Oh, right.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That was in Minneapolis?
That was in Minneapolis.
Okay.
Minnesota.
And then obviously PAX Unplugged. And, I went to Gen Con and Nova, which those were...
You'd been there before.
Mm-hmm. Definitely going to Origins again next year.
Cool.
But I've definitely... That one's going to be easier to manage, because...
It's your birthday, right?
Well, it is my birthday weekend around that same time. The only way I was able to do Origins this year is because I was working the whole time to make up for the room.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas this time I found, because of making all these connections with people, I was able to get in a room with like a whole bunch of guys where it's not going to cost me as much.
Yeah, that's
and
nice.
It means I can enjoy my convention, because that's one. It's it's like PAX Unplugged, but imagine like 2 to 3 more days.
Yeah.
To where like it's all about gaming. Like there is a vendor hall, but it's also early in the year to where not as many things have come out yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's
more so like the stuff that's been out there from the previous year is easier to access.
Yes. Yeah. And there's usually a cut. There's like, that was when Century Spice Road came out.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like a rush for that. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it's not like that, like Gen Con is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one has definitely a different feel, and so many people go to it, and there's so many friends I've made from it that I kind of have to go. And of course, Gen Con is an obvious.
That's.
I will have to say, any interest in going to either Origins or Gen Con or Origins? I don't know, because that'd be hard. But Gen Con,
I doubt it.
We're kind of booked for trips already next year.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, because you're going to Dice Tower Con.
Well, and we also have 2 other trips planned for next year.
Gotcha. We may be going to PAX Unplugged again. It just matters like if it can sync up schedule wise.
Yeah, because since they're moving it a week.
Right, because you're talking about the concert schedule.
Yeah, it just depends.
All right,
we'll see.
Philip, we got to make not only PAX, but you need to come to a Catacon.
To a Catacon?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like it's up your alley.
Yeah,
so.
That's where that's where like all the Dirtbags crew needs to go to a Catacon with me. Not only that, but that drive is so long to make by myself.
That's
to
that's
Minnesota?
in Ohio, right?
Well, no, that's Ohio.
What, a Catacon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's that's right.
Don't think I'm gonna go to the World Championship again, because that bunches up.
Wait, what was in Minnesota?
That was the
World Championship.
Oh, that was the World
for L5.
Yeah, I don't think because again, that's just so much stuff right there in a row there. I may try. Depends when it is, and because Randy and I are going to do more of the Star Wars Destiny stuff.
Okay.
If they do a Worlds, I may try and get in for that, because Randy will play with his X-Wing and maybe like Destiny, and it'd be going with somebody, so costs get split, kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
And it's also because they split those things up, the Star Wars stuff, that those are in like April, May instead of bunched up with like 2 or 3 other ones. So, because by the time I got to PAX Unplugged, I was wiped. Like dead. Saturday and Sunday, I was just like, oh my god,
I've been convention hopping.
Yeah, like it
was almost like 3 weeks in a row.
It was 3 weeks in a row.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Get home, say hi to the wife, do laundry, go to the convention.
Yeah.
Well, she went with him to Minneapolis, so that was
true,
good.
but still.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I will not be doing again.
Yeah, I would love to go to more conventions, because I did enjoy the couple that we went to this year. But like he said, it's just a matter of timing with when they fall and when our vacations and time off and all that. That's what makes it hard. That's why PAX was easy, because it was only Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we already had off Friday, and so that was good.
So when you guys get into work tomorrow,
go
to Gen Con's website, 2019, okay? 2019.
But see, that's not one
that's 2 years from now.
But that's not one I think I would want to go to. I think I'm...
The only reason I would say that you might want to go to Gen Con is just the amount of... the dealer hall, let's throw the dealer hall away at this point.
Okay.
There's still so much to do, and there's so many different things to do. Like, that's the one thing where it's like, it's not just this board gaming, or it's not just RPGs. It's,
there was a life-size, oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah, or like there's the I don't know how you feel about werewolves, but like like the game Werewolf, there's like 15 games of werewolf going down like one corridor late at night, like going late into the night kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where there's
As soon as the sun gets right under the horizon, they wheel out the chairs,
Yeah,
circle them up.
exactly.
Bring out your dead.
Oh
that
my
would be like the only selling point I've had is this that because there's so many people, they can do so much variety of stuff.
Yeah.
That you're bound to find there's going to be something there that interests you. I don't know what it is. You may not know what it is because you end up just stumbling upon it.
Yeah.
Gen Con's just that it's great for discovering new things.
Yeah. I just want to go to Essen because I just want to go to
That is
Germany.
true. Not going to happen next year.
Germany's a great country.
I do want to go to Germany. We do need to make Germany happen at some point.
That'd be awesome.
Germany's a great country.
We do need to make a Boards and Swords trip.
2019.
Fun. Well, let's start a Patreon.
Yeah, let's start a
Kickstarter.
2022. Send us to Germany.
Yeah. We can go
No.
watch the D&D movie.
Yeah, all right.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Yeah. I did learn though that I'm an Omni gamer. This
Okay.
year.
Is that just you like different styles of gaming?
Yeah, I like a lot of stuff.
Oh, I'm a thematic gamer.
Yeah.
There's no.
I'm definitely that's something I definitely did discover this
Well,
year.
she doesn't like straight abstracts.
I don't like straight abstracts. That is very true.
Okay.
Like the GIF series. I'm like,
Yeah, like
whatever.
a Link and all that.
Yeah,
No, thank you.
I like those.
He
so
likes
I'm
them.
a true Omni gamer.
Yeah, but there's.
What is
She's an
Is she like an
eh.
Omni gamer with the star next to
But
it?
Yeah.
I was going through like my ratings on BGG because I've rated a lot of my stuff that I've played. If I've only played it once and I didn't have a strong opinion about it, I didn't rate it yet because I was like, it's not fair to the game. But yeah. So and it's like mostly 7s.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, I'm a little too nice. Like I just like too much, you know. So I thought that was kind of.
I find that my ratings are very heavily dependent. Like they fluctuate all the time because I'm a very spur of the moment kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
it's at one point in time I'm really into this game, and then I might be really into this game. That's why making a top 50 was really hard for me because like that's why I hadn't done it before because it depends on what I'm feeling. Like I am a very moody in that sense gamer where it
I
just
guess
depends on what I'm feeling. Like, this game might be in my top 10 now, and a week later it might not be because I'm on to something else kind of thing.
I kind of understand that because I have moods like I just sometimes I don't even feel like playing any of the games in my top 10.
Right.
You know, it's like I love those games and I will enjoy them every time I play them, but a lot of times it's just like, yeah, I'm not in the mood for that.
Exactly.
So I totally understand you there.
So you like it on Wednesday, but now it's Friday and you have to wash your hair?
Exactly.
All right.
Mood rings. Every girl needs one.
Okay. We've skirted around the subject now. Let's get into some games.
Okay.
Starting off, let's talk about games that we've reviewed on the show. Or games that we've talked about necessarily on the show, which might be both.
How do we remember these things? Do
I mean,
you have a list?
I remember a few.
I remember.
Well,
a few
if you
too.
can't remember any of them, then it's not sticking in your mind as much. Let's just say games in general.
Okay.
We'll just say games in general. This year was big for me because I finally got to play Twilight Imperium in both versions.
Yeah, 3 and 4.
That was something different for me. I will say, I'm going to say this about gaming, and this goes back to my statement where I'm a very
Judge it by
Judge a game by its box.
Judge a game by its box kind of person.
Mhm.
Where I was watching the Dice Tower's top 10 of the year
Yeah.
For this year?
for this year.
Okay.
And I saw the games, and because I've been playing a lot of games I have, and not at like the number of new games I've played this year is pretty low. That came out this year.
Right.
There's been a lot of playing hits from last year I missed, like Terraforming Mars.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at the list, I'm like, none of those games sound interesting to me.
Huh.
Like the normally like there's a lot of crossover, like because I'm also a very hype oriented person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where if a game gets hyped up enough, I'm like, I gotta try this game.
Yeah.
But even this year, there were games that were really hyped up that I'm just like, I mean, it's a part of me kind of narrowing in on the games I like,
Mhm.
and also narrowing in on what I'm willing to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've felt that way about a few different games, and like I'm willing, but I'm not totally sold on Ex Libris, and everyone's talking about Ex Libris.
Right. And I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, or
I'm
like,
curious about it. But...
there's one that starts with an A, Azul.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Zool. I want to
Yeah.
try that, but it is an abstract, so I'm a little
I've heard
hesitant.
everybody talking about it, but I'm like, eh.
Mhm.
I think it looks amazing.
Yeah, like there's a couple of them that just have been going around and around. You've been hearing people talk about them, but I just not interested. And that's terrible for me as someone that has a show about reviewing games. But I've ultimately come to the decision that we're more about entertaining you and a style that entertaining a board gamer versus straight up reviewing.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
know,
Mm.
I'm more about making something entertaining than I am about we're not your number one go to
For reviews.
for a review.
Yeah.
You know, that's obviously
We know some people
There are-
who you can go for that.
Yes,
Yeah.
there are much better people doing it. I'm gonna make you laugh because I'm better at doing that.
Yeah. I think we played
Mike
a lot
Wazowski.
we played a lot of new games this year.
Yeah.
Like games that came out in this year.
Yeah, my list of plays has like the stats. I have a lot of ones.
Oh yeah, I do too.
I was like,
oh
I
my
played this
gosh.
one time.
Oh,
this
yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
time.
No,
Yeah, that
I was
makes
like,
me
what
a
are you
little sad.
I was like, what are you talking about? Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's talking about like the plays of the year.
Yeah, that was totally different from last year because last year we played like I got a 10 by 10 last year. This year I'm like I think I've played 5 games 10 times. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's so sad."
Well, because we called out specific games this year.
But even still, like last year without calling out anything specific, I had 10 games 10 times where this year I have 5 games 10 times and
Yeah.
yeah. So even without
I was looking
even,
at mine. I was like, I'm about like 7 plays away from getting a 10 by 10, just generically.
Oh, see,
Pulling
I'm
up-
not at all. I'm not even that close.
People ask like, why do you do the stats? And it's just so I can do like fun stuff like this.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
just-
same
yeah.
here.
Just pulling up the stats. So I have 10 games that are 9 games that I've played 5 times or more. I have let's see, if you go down to 38 games that I've played 2 times or more, and then 40 all the way to 90 games I've played once.
Yeah, I have a lot of ones. I've played over 100 new games, like new to me games this year though, so that was pretty exciting.
Number one game I played this year is actually a tie.
Is it
Curious.
L5R in there?
L5R is 1, and Ascension is 2 because I've been logging my app plays.
Oh yeah.
But only because I'm playing this with actual people, so it's like playing the game.
Oh right, you're
that-
just
that
playing
makes
it in
sense,
the
yeah.
on the.
And then the next biggest games were games that I was running at conventions for people. So I played the like the Rune Wars and Star Wars Legion. I was playing day after day after day,
Yep.
all day. So I got a lot of plays in.
Yeah. So
All day, every
I've played 187 unique games. 119 were new this year.
Mm.
I mean, that's a lot. And then I've played 2 games 13 times. Kingdom Builder and Carson City.
Hey, I played Kingdom Builder. We never talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
I did play I think Kingdom Builder kills Carcassonne for me, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I definitely preferred Kingdom Builder over Carcassonne.
Oh,
Woo!
that's interesting.
I'm evangelizing.
I don't know if it's like
Preach it, brother.
I mean, like, it's a game.
Yeah.
Like, I would not be my first
I
off
mean,
the shelf.
It's
but-
not a big meaty thing. It's just
No.
like it's a nice, quick playing game. I'm hesitant to call it gateway though.
Right.
That's where I struggle with. It's like I want to teach this to everyone.
Yeah, it's like a step above Gateway.
Yeah. But it's not like you were saying. It's not like big meaty thing. It's,
Yeah.
It's like right there in the middle.
I will say I've discovered I've rediscovered my love for King of Tokyo.
Mm.
Oh, I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was something else. By going back and playing some of these older games, I was like, that game's just great.
Yeah.
It's just universally great.
I really discovered I like dexterity games a lot. Because I think last year we played Ice Cool,
Mm-hmm.
and that was, I think that was like my first experience with a dexterity game, wasn't it?
A modern one, because you've always played Jenga, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, of the modern board games, I think Ice Cool was my first one.
Have I taught you
And then-
Rampage yet?
Yeah, I played
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, we did play
I did
that
play
one a
Rampage.
while
I
back.
played that a
Okay.
long while ago.
That was like one
Like
of our
when we
first
first
games at High
started going
Tide.
to High
Okay.
Tide, yeah. So I guess that was my first one. But
Is that the one with the little dinosaur about that high?
Yep.
yeah, it's,
Yeah.
Right, it's right behind you.
I'm pretty
actually.
sure you've
And you
played
can
it.
blow on it.
Yeah, yeah, I played it because we
Yep.
played it with Chloe and she like
Mhm.
blah. She
Yep.
rained all over the board.
Ew.
Yeah.
Anyways, but
Thanks,
then
kid.
yeah, so this year though, I played a whole bunch of dexterity games, and I just love them. I think they're so much fun,
Oh yeah.
so much fun.
All right. Any big highlights though?
Uh,
Favorite games that you've played this year? Not, and it doesn't have to be games that came out this year, but games that are new to you this year.
Well, hang on. Let
me see.
I'm going to go to Philip on this because
what did I play with Randy at
Rebellion, Star Wars Rebellion?
Rebellion.
Yep.
That was good. I really enjoyed that game.
Sorry.
I mean,
that is right up your alley.
I
don't like it because it's one of those games that it's only for 2 people and it takes a while.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather be playing something else.
I mean, it was a nice big map.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of stuff going on, and the whole there was one mechanic I didn't read properly, so I could have been doing more stuff playing as the Empire. I'm sorry, I play as the Empire. That's every Star Wars game.
You like money.
I do. The Star Wars like Empire at War PC game, I was like, I didn't even think about touching the Rebel campaign. It's like, no. I want Star Destroyers. I can launch TIE Fighter squadrons. It's great. Oh, gosh. Just fleets and fleets of ships. What do the Rebels got? They got like 2 X-Wings. Yeah, whatever. We're going to move over. Stupid Rebels. I am Snoke. Ha, there we go. Spoiler for everyone. I am Supreme Leader Snoke.
Yeah, I was about to say, I've not seen Star Wars yet.
I'm Supreme Leader Snoke. Sorry.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, obviously for me, L5R was a big thing for me.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's one of those, like, I guess I've just come to realize that I like those short 1 versus 1 kind of games. Because I don't, like, if you, it's another one of those, if I sold it to myself, I don't know why I would like it. But I just do. Like, I've been seriously, like, a lot of games when I play them now, I'm like, why do I like this? But L5R, I can't come up with a reason why I like it. I just do. It's another, a lot of it just comes is it reminds me of other games that I like and I've not been able to get into. Like, for instance, Netrunner was a game that I really liked because I really like how the theme mesh was with that kind of combative card game. But it's so hard to keep up with, whereas this one I'm in on the ground floor, so
right.
And I think that has a lot to do with it. But it's definitely not my number one. Like I don't know if I would say it's the number one new game that I've played this year. I'd have to think it probably Mansions of Madness might be.
Well, it's kind of at this point it's kind of hard to think of as it was a new game this year, but Carson City was new to us at the beginning of this year.
Yeah,
really.
That was my.
It was on my Christmas list last year, and I said if it doesn't come for Christmas, I'm buying it in January.
And he did.
I mean, I took the risk because it was $100 down on this because it was like the big box and
right
both expansions.
Because you got the Kickstarter version.
No, didn't get the Kickstarter version.
Oh, okay.
Because the Kickstarter version had all the upgraded bits, but it still has the same content, just not the bits, which I'm okay with for the most part.
You know what? No, I'm gonna take that back because I've only played Mansions of Madness once. I will say, and this is a game new to me, not new to 2017. Number one game for me, Role Player.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say Role Player.
That was fun.
That was a good game.
That was one, and I've played it. We played it again at the Invitational.
OCD Con, can we call it that?
No, it's the Dirtbags Invitational.
Oh, that's right, it's a Dirtbag. Dirtbag Con.
Dirtbag Con.
Yeah. So I mean, like he said, I know that we talk about Carson City a lot, and that and you all know we really like the game, but it is. I mean, it was our top game that was new to us this year. I would
definitely that makes sense. I did not know that was new to you this year. Yeah. That makes there's no surprise there.
Yeah, and then another one for me though would be Clank, because I think when did that come out?
It's been out last year.
Was it last year?
I think it was last Gen Con Essen. It might have been an Essen.
I don't know. Let's see. It doesn't say.
But Dice Tower Con, I think, was the first time you got to play it. I think, right?
No, I played it at the board. I played it at High Tide.
We played Sunken Treasures first time at.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember there being a first in there.
I played it for the first time in March, and then we played Sunken Treasures for the first time at Dice Tower Con. But I mean, I really, really enjoy Clank. It is a fun game. It's for sure my favorite deck builder. Have you played it? I forget.
I have not played Clank.
Oh man, I'll have to remedy that.
Are there any plans for them to come out with like a really big expansion called Ratchet?
No, but they do have Clank in space now.
Wait, it's Clank! Exclamation point!
Yeah, pretty much.
Exclamation point after every word.
It is exclamation points. Yeah. So, but I think you would enjoy Clank.
Got him!
So that's one I want you to try.
It's one of those.
Yeah.
It's I want to try it. I just I haven't got.
Yeah. So
it's not like high up there, but it's on the list of games to play.
Right.
Mhm.
But so other than Carson City, that would be my other big new to me game in 2017. For sure.
And it's not a big game, but the other one, I backed this on Kickstarter this year. It came in, Circle the Wagons.
Yeah, that's a
It's
really great
been
one.
two Western games. But but
My third favorite game is Gold West.
Actually,
no, that was new last year.
It was new last year, though.
But it's been our go-to waiting for food game. Like when our food comes at a restaurant, we're disappointed that we haven't finished yet.
Yeah.
Like, can you put it back in the
Can
warmer?
you put it back into the warmer real quick? We got like 7 minutes. 7 minutes.
Yeah.
But no, it's like usually like we're scoring by the time the food comes.
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty quick
unless
game.
it comes really fast, like we're the only people in the restaurant.
Does that Las Vegas Casino dice placing game count as a Western game?
Oh, Lords of Vegas.
Lords of Vegas?
Yeah.
Count as a what?
Does that count as a
game?
Western-ish theme game?
No,
I might put it in American West, but not a Western.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's like modern day,
Yeah.
just about.
Well, yeah, it's like when they're building up the Las Vegas Strip in the 20.
That's right. I
30s.
forgot you were there playing that with us, or did
Mhm.
you play that?
I played it with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't play it all together.
Okay, because I was like, I thought it was just me and you, because
Yeah.
I tried that out this year too.
Yeah, because the three of us played it together, and then we played it with Philip
Right.
at something else.
I think that was before we played it with you.
I think it was before we played
Okay.
it with Chris, yeah. I
we can
look
look it up. We have the
I'm
technology.
doing it right
That's
now.
right. She's doing it.
doing a thing.
Keep talking, though.
But-
So, any other big games?
Let's see. Trying to look a little off the beaten path here. I tried
No.
Jamaica for the first time this year.
I didn't play Lords
That
of
was
Vegas
another
with
one.
Philip.
And let's see, Unfair, which they announced the playtesting for the new expansion for Unfair.
Yay!
I got an email about that today.
That was a fun game.
I liked it.
It's played a lot faster than that first game.
Yeah,
Every time we've played, it's been faster and
I
faster.
really like it.
I think I'd have to give it another shot.
I mean,
I wasn't.
You might like it better at lower player counts.
Yeah, especially 2-player. It played
moves
super
really
fast.
But I don't play really
Right.
well. As I say, that my top play game this year was a 2-player game. So
I'd up the playtime because I'd have to learn again. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Now that we've played so many times,
It's easy to teach.
It's yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, do this and this and this. Okay, thanks. Boop, there we go.
Yeah.
and it's got a play rate, so just say you got that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this means, are we going to need the next episode? Are we going to have to do, what do we want to do differently in 2018?
Maybe
We kidnap Colin and Cindy, take him to Gen Con.
that would be
You paying
different.
for that?
What's that?
I'm not paying for it.
I mean,
Maybe just a day pass, and then the rest of the time keep us in the room.
yeah, that'll work.
That's one thing.
Gosh.
I was going to mention this year. I found out how to make going to conventions cheaper,
Mm.
like ways such as working for people
okay.
using what.
You were like, I found out how to make, and I was like, badges? That might be a little, I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I think the machine to buy like the cool, like with the holographic print in the stuff is more expensive than like a badge.
All right. Well, anybody got any final thoughts before I shut us down for the year? 'Cause
Nothing
this is our last.
appropriate.
This is our last
it is
episode.
our last for the year.
We may have a small minor episode because Philip and I are going to talk about. We got a RPG book to talk about afterwards. But as far as first full episode, I'm going to use this as filler to get us through the holidays, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Any other thoughts to close out 2017?
It's been a good year.
It has been a very good year. I've definitely enjoyed
I have
it.
thoughts, but none of them are appropriate.
Okay.
I should say I've definitely enjoyed the gaming aspects of 2017.
Yeah. One thing though, before we do shut down, is December 31st.
Oh,
December 31st.
yay!
December 31st.
Yeah.
We are doing
What time are we on?
Sunday.
the second annual dice drop for charity.
Are we on 3 to 5?
3 to 5, I believe.
3 to 5
Yeah.
playing
The
hop.
sec- yes. I don't know if we're doing hop the whole time, but we'll do.
That would be a
we'll
lot
do
of
it-
hop.
From 3 to 5, Cindy wants to play hop.
Maybe we'll throw in ice cool in there too. We'll just have it be like dexterity
Or I
hours.
could bring over Rhino Hero Super Battle.
Yes. That's
yeah.
a plan.
Well, I mean, how many cameras do you got? Cindy can just play hop like in a corner by herself on a
myself?
camera.
I'm throwing and trying to catch on one finger. I'd be
It'll be like
terrible.
those. It'll be like those videos. The guys who play ping pong with themselves.
Yeah, I throw it and then I have to run and catch it myself. Oh my gosh.
So, just to explain, what we're doing is we're doing a 12-hour stream. Last year I did 24, and I swore never again.
12 hours is more reasonable.
We're doing a 12-hour stream. We're trying to raise awareness and get people to donate for LLS, the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. So ring in the new year with some gaming, some awesome entertainment, and benefiting, starting the new year off right. Ashley was like, well, you got a card from LLS. I was like, oh yeah, because I sent all the money that got donated, I send it to them. So they're like, oh yeah, you're a donator. I'm like, eh. But yeah, so yes, starting twitch.tv/OCDcast, Sunday. It's a Sunday, right?
It's a Sunday.
Sunday, December 31st, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern time, all the way until 1 a.m. the next day. So there you go. That's the last thing I'm going to say before I shut us down. Oh, I'm clicked on the wrong thing. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone so much for listening to us this year. It's been a great year as far as gaming goes. I got to put that caveat in there as far as gaming goes. But we love feedback. Let us know. We've done a lot of changes to the show over the past year. We've been experimenting with a lot of stuff. So we really need to know some feedback so we know what to not do next year.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. I think the jokes are still going to happen.
Jokes are still going to happen.
I don't care. Even if someone says they're terrible, they're still happening.
Yeah. Puns are my favorite.
At least let us know.
Cheesy humor's my favorite.
Yep. I will say, and best way is either email feedback@boardsandswords.com or join our guild, boardsandswords.com/guild.
Yeah.
You can also follow all of us all together in various places on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Chris the Prof.
On Twitter, I am Phil the Dirtbag.
And I'm on Instagram and Twitter as callcakes196.
And I'm on Instagram and Twitter as Cindy Pastorius. Good luck spelling that.
I can't. It's pastor with the IUS.
That's very true. There's no extra O. It's only one O in my last name. Thank you very much.
You should have messed with people and made the O a 0.
Why?
Why not?
Just to be that
I
guy.
forgot.
Because remember, Philip is that guy.
Hi, Phil the Dirtbag.
Yeah.
Have we met?
See, I'm not. I'm too nice for that.
That's an issue. We're going to have to solve that.
No.
Naughty, nice.
I like being nice. It's happy.
Oh my gosh. All right. Also, keep in mind that this podcast is a proud member of the Dice Tower Network. Make sure you go check out dicetowernetwork.com for other great board game shows that are better at talking about newer stuff than we are. But and also thanks to Cool Stuff Inc. They do a lot of great stuff in the gaming hobby, so go there if you want to get some good discounts on some games. So in the meantime, thank you all again, and remember that every gamer has a story. And Phillips is that he's pooping. Oh, it's the wrong button. It's the wrong button.
You all right in there?
Soundboard fail.
Are you pooping?
No, Phillips is that.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Hey, I timed that pretty good again.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's over.